I'm Rob.
And I'm Louie.
And this is a VR Furballs review by
Barefoot Gaming.
Louie, wrap up this game for the viewers. What kind of game is VR Furballs?
It is a slingshot, destructive, kill your enemies game. You hold the slingshot in your left hand or your right if you're left hand dominant, and you grab a furball and you pull back and you fire and you hit other evil red furballs.
So clearly there's going to be certain furballs that you can fire at them that break ice better. There's certain ones that'll break stone better. There's certain ones that'll break wood better. And then there's all the little...
That's actually very similar to another game.
Which one is that, Louie?
Oh, I want to say it was Angry Birds, but I don't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember either. And then they kind of make it more interesting by having all kinds of like stuff that you interact with, right? Like fans and...
Yep. Fans, there's portals, there's one really important feature where if you look up straight up, dead center, there's a big eye, and that lets you teleport to the other side to look around to find hidden enemies. Probably the most important thing in the game.
Especially later on, because they're going to get really well hidden. They'll hide behind a bunch of ice.
Yep.
Or they'll be in an area that you can't see from the front.
Yep.
There's what other stuff can you use to swing your VR critters at the bad guys?
There's a tennis racket, in which case you take a drone that bounces up your furball for you, and then you take a swing and you hit it. I wasn't very good at that.
And on top of the regular Angry Birds style gameplay, there's also minigames.
There's a piles of minigames. There's shooting hoops. There's timed events, which are kind of old carnival arcadey. Like normally you'd be shooting ducks, but in this case it's just targets. You'll have your own scoreboard plus a worldwide scoreboard. And
right now, because there aren't oodles of people playing, you can totally get really high up on the scoreboard.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but I always get a kick out of that. When we're playing games that not a lot of people have tried out, it's like, yeah, we can get to first place. We can just push a little harder. We can get to first. And then after that, I think we're kind of at the point where we're going to score this thing. Generally, I don't like to review games that are at this price point because this is almost, it's not throwaway money. Money is valuable, don't get me wrong. But this is a $5 US game, okay? So this isn't going to break the bank. Louie, give me some pros, give me some cons.
It's fun, it's intuitive. If you've played any of that bird game, they're really mad for some reason.
Roxio, don't sue us for constantly referencing your game.
You can play, you can beat 1 or 2 levels, or you can binge on it and just rip through the game if you want to, but in the later levels they do take some work, and that's part of the enjoyment out of it. You don't want a game that's just super easy and you beat in 20 minutes. Some of these levels you'll have to go through over and over and over again, and if you're a completionist, to get 3 stars in each level, it's
not easy.
It's not not easy for him.
Well, I make it look easy is really what I was trying to say.
As far as cons go, the graphics aren't really there. That's not to say that it's pixelated or anything, but it's just everything's plain. I mean, the most that they've done is shading, and that's about it. But the gameplay really picks up the slack and makes up for it.
Out of 5, Louie, what are you giving it?
I'm gonna give it 3 3/4.
Now, I would say one of the big pros of this game is there's also a level editor that we didn't mention. So you have an infinite amount of replayability. You can share your levels with your friends. You can design, set it up, make it as complicated as you want. It still has to be winnable or else you can't complete it. The game works as intended as a Angry Birds clone. The mini levels I actually found to be really enjoyable and a nice break. The nice thing about this game is it's something that's easy to swap back and forth. So you can play a couple levels, you pass it off to your friend, and then he'll play a couple, and then you play it and you just blow his score out of the water. Could be anyone we're talking about here. And then after that, you can just be done. At $5, this is not an expensive game. However, my con is it's still Angry Birds in VR. And I struggle to rate it higher than like a 3.5 out of 5. It's fun once I load it up. It's fun every once in a while. I won't be playing this terribly often, but you know, if I've got like younger kids over, this would be something I'd load up for them. You know what? If you like Angry Birds, you'll like this game. That's really what our score doesn't really matter. If you like Angry Birds, you will like this game, and you'll like how many options it gives you. Makes you think, makes you fight for it. That's it. We're done. That's the review for
VR bunnies.
That's the review for VR Bunnies. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment. We love hearing from you. Talk to you later. See ya.